Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and radio show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Damn, that's loud as shit.
I mean, make my applause loud. I deserve them.
Suave, what up, man?
Man, out here ducking and dodging the stupidity that is America in 2021.
Being a professional sucker ducker is a lost commodity and a lost art these days.
People just wasn't raised correctly. They don't know how to suck a duck.
Man, their fathers left them at a young age. Their mama slapped them around a little bit too much. The brains got rattled.
Couple of vowels got interchanged, and now they're doing some different stuff.
Vowels are not bowels, and neither are the opposite. So there's that. Man, you know, we have a
vowel with the L on the end. Vowel, take the L.
We're going to make
it continues to play on itself.
We're going to make the most out of the time that we have today. We're hoping to do a short show, but we're going to give you a good show. So don't trip. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're here for a good time, not a long time. But if we're here for a long time, it's still a good time. So ain't nobody lied.
We've been doing our usual pre-show banner, which will soon be known as the Trap Almanac. You got to love it. You got to love it. You know what I'm saying? Straight G.
Oh man, we need to hurry up and copyright that because somebody gonna steal it.
Straight G shit, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like
somebody gonna try to steal it.
Old man game in real time. It's nothing personal. It's all serious. Let's just go ahead and hashtag get with the shit. We were talking off air, and we're gonna kick this shit off about this whole AEW invading.
No. Before you even go there, because we got special stuff going on, man. You just had a milestone event, though. It's not glaze over there.
My bad. You know me. I'm a man of humility, man. I don't have to toot my own horn, but beep 45 up in this.
Man, fuck all that. Turn them shits up.
You have IMOC. I have the dopest day of the year. You know what I'm saying? The dopest day in the history of mankind. DDOY, if you will.
Hot boy June.
Hot boy June in this bitch. 45 in this hole. Me, Andy Pettit, and Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying?
Bow, bow, bow.
Price just went up, ho. But my team.
Lick shots.
Price just went up. Price just went up.
You know what I'm saying?
Hit him with the sauce, Ron.
Damn. So this is I hit 45 and Suave in undanger-like fashion. And this is true Wood right here. Because of a bad physical, no name. This is the name. Due to a bad physical, I have been reduced to a intermittent fast of 6 hours of eating and 18 hours of whatever. But nothing other than water during those 18 hours. I must say that I'm 3 days in. I've incorporated some different herbs, not to be confused with the 6-leaf herb of popular culture. But I've incorporated,
which can also be of aid in health matters. But continue.
Yes, which we do partake of some byproducts thereof.
Shout out to Keith Murray, legalize and I advertise.
Because I get lifted.
I get lifted.
Ism makes the world go round. So
you feel what I'm saying?
I had no alcohol, no cigar, and I went into a food coma at Spiral Diner.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You're really dedicated. I'm proud of you.
And that I don't know what the calories were, but I can tell you they were damn tasty. Shouts out to my beautiful wife. Shouts out to all my children who I either spoke to and or saw over the last few days. Yeah, and special shout out to my now 12-year-old Alyssa. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Daddy loves you. It was great seeing her. Find out what happened on that trip during Trap Almanac, whenever we released that episode. But I digress. It was a wonderful time to be had by all. And by the time my 7:00 hit, before I usually I try to sneak like one or two more bites in before 7 to make it through the night. I was like, fuck that yesterday. Well, on the 15th, where I was like, fuck that. So, yeah, there's that, man. Thank you for the birthday.
I've
greetings.
never been to Spiral. I got to make sure I go by there at some point.
Listen, whatever you do, because we bosses, add bacon.
I mean, Stimmy ain't knocked me off my hustle.
It's a home. It's a
he ain't
homemade,
never cared about no Stimmies. Put some bacon and cheese on it.
It's a homemade concoction that is flat and flimsy, and it kind of reminds you of Canadian bacon, but man, it goes perfect on the burger, boy. Let me tell you something. Ooh,
okay.
It's so good, so good. If you get a burger, add bacon. Trust me on this one. I would never tell you wrong. Now,
duly noted.
Can we get back to the show?
Yeah, we can go and turn up.
Right
we
on.
Can turn up and take off now. We good.
Right on. Appreciate the
Do we need to
salutation.
hit them with the hashtags and the social media now?
Sure, why not?
We'll wait to the end.
No, we'll hit them with it right now because we haven't hit them in a few shows, unfortunately. I don't know what we've been thinking, but we've had jam-packed shows. So with
we
the
got to
shit,
pre-record it. Just hit the button.
I should, but I'm not. With the shit, Broken
We
Pencil
gonna
Logic.
automate this shit. I'm telling you.
With the shit, Broken Pencil Logic. Mark my words. Fuck life, shawty. No, hey, we took that one away, didn't we?
Yeah, that one is in the rafters.
Let's see here. Sorry. So, Broken Pencil Logic. Mark my words. With the shit. Fuck the casual fan. Price just went up. Those are your hashtags.
Gang.
Man, see, look at me hitting the shit. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. That's at brokenpencilbc on what?
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. Now, AEW has decided to take this show back on the road, as everybody else is too. I'm looking at the numbers going down. I think it's about that time. And it was only a matter of time before we get back into the same room ourselves and get back to doing this shit. And it's not. We've gotten a pretty good formula down doing this at a distance, so it's not going to be as often as it was. But please believe it's going to happen again. So
for us, I think for us it was obviously we were taking precautions because extenuating circumstances on both ends.
Also, setting the example.
We've been able to conduct ourselves in a way that it wasn't as much of an issue about if we were gonna be in the same room, but we just chose not to and got really good at the alternative because you gotta have options when options are not available. And
sadly, technology has not been our friend these last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, technology been trying to sabotage the game.
They fucking with the game, man.
Feel what I'm saying?
But we
they
still
can't
here.
tell, but we told you because we're transparent.
Yeah, well, we still here for you, and it's not, it could be worse. You could be listening to something else that doesn't sound half as good as this, so you're welcome. That said,
you could be disappointing your mama.
and what'd you say, Suave? I'll be doggone.
Yeah, I had to clean it up like on the spot. I'd be doggone if I disappoint my precious mom.
Which mine will be here in the next few days for the first time in 6 years, bruh. I'm excited about that.
That's what's up. That's solid.
Yeah,
that's a good deal right
man.
there.
Yes.
Call mine mañana.
That's it. All right, now we back on it. AEW's hitting the road again, as is everybody else. And on their list of stops, we found that they have decided to make a trip to New York City.
Get a rope.
Every time a company decides they want to make a little bit of noise, the first thing they do is think it's a sound decision to go to New York for the sole purpose of taking a shot at the person who made New York famous for professional wrestling and Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I don't know why you continue to go around there fucking with them people when they ain't coming around where you at fucking with you.
If you look in your tree,
go ahead.
If you look in your tree in your front yard and you see a nice, pretty, round, conical, off-white looking vessel hanging about 40 to 50 feet above the ground, the last thing your dumb ass is going to do is A, try to throw a rock at it, B, try to hit it with a stick, and God forbid your dumb ass doesn't get a ladder and try to get up there to it. Because I'm going to tell you what it is.
Let me give you guys... Go ahead.
It's a hornet's nest. It's a full-blown hornet's nest. Get your ass away from the hornet. Did you not listen in elementary school, you dumbasses?
I'm gonna just be real, and I'm gonna try to enrich the listener by giving you some news you can use, quotes that you can goat.
Game.
Yes. Acts of aggression are often, if not always, met with acts of aggression. Let that sink in. Acts of aggression are often, if not always, met with acts of aggression. What does that mean, pray tell? Remember what I just said by going around there fooling with them people and they weren't bothering nobody? You gonna keep throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Yes, you've heard this term before. Throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Penitentiary ain't give a damn about you, but you out here throwing rocks at the pen because you want to be famous. So here's the part where this shit starts to go off the rails for me. Everybody on AEW's roster since its conception has said that we're not attempting to start a war with WWE. We just want to be who we are, and that is absolutely reflective in the product. They're not mirroring WWE. It's their own formula that has their own group of fans. They're not infringing on the market share yet.
Unless you're the Block Control Express.
Unless who?
Unless you're the Block Control Express.
Well, that's a whole different, load warrior is gonna load warrior. But your whole roster has put that statement, that sentiment out in the air. Sentiment, not cinnamon. So, but then the owner, Khanos himself, or soon to be Genghis Khanos, with this shit he's doing, has continuously 3 straight weeks, 3 separate news pieces, has lashed out at WWE in some passive aggressive nonsense. Just a pissy fit. You done got out here with your real life brother / cousin Nick Khan. Of course, we know they're not related, but that's just
we're kayfabing here. Let us ride.
Kayfabe the HJ. Shout out to Conrad. So you out here beefing with your kinfolk about him basically trying to negotiate and broker a deal for his company, an exclusive United States partnership with New Japan. So you decided to kind of, well, we did it first type situation. No, you did the Ray J. I hit it first. Like, well, okay. And what sort of cookie would you like? And to which we told you, look, the difference between a deal and an idea is paperwork. If you ain't got no paperwork, you ain't got no deal, which means it's just an idea, which means it's fair game for someone else to incorporate that idea and possibly get a deal. But I digress. You go from there and you decide to make comments about a press call that Triple H did talking about NXT. He's supposed to say that. That's part of the manual. When you're in a corporate position, you only speak positive about the brand, no matter what's going on. No matter what other company could possibly hire you and do whatever else, when you're speaking about your company, your brand, on your time, to your investors on your conference call, there's no better place in the world.
Negative press is the best form of free advertisement in any environment.
Factual.
You want to make somebody else some money? Talk about their ass in a negative light. I guarantee you'll make their monkey asses famous real quick.
They gonna be famous and you gonna get, shunned. You'll get blackballed. But as Eric Bischoff has taught y'all with his book, Controversy Creates Cash. So if you want to live by that, do your thing.
Case in point, Exhibit A. Tony Schiavone spoiling the finish of a taped broadcast of Monday Night Raw while he was on Monday Nitro by using the phrase, "That'll put asses in seats."
Right.
What happened?
A line he was fed.
Everybody jumped to a channel to go from a live broadcast with loose microphones to a recorded broadcast with editing, and 83 weeks ended just like that.
So just so you know, 83 weeks wasn't a murder, it was a suicide. Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Negative press, free advertisement. Let that be a lesson to you.
Put a pin in that. Now, you've done this with Triple H about the NXT call, being pissy again. Now, you've done a whole... now, at no other point, you didn't go to Curtis Colwell Center and film any type of shit for the return of AEW. You didn't do anything in Houston. But all of a sudden, now, because you have a date in New York, you have flown out. You got flued out. You went out here and you did a whole promo package and filmed the inside of the arena like a stadium show and the whole shit. Like you have completely went balls to the wall to announce a date in New York. A date. You realize nobody's been in, like, you're going there you throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Basically, you barking at the moon, hoping the moon barks back. You doing this with WWE, and it's like, bruh, they ain't been in New York in a year. So you just announced this, like, what if Vince gets a bug up his ass and just said, we're going to run a Garden that same night?
Hold that thought. Ain't been in New York in a year, and they didn't do the Garden in 6?
So, you think he won't, like, you think a man who just came up on another $2 billion won't overpay to get into the Garden? I'm talking about for the massive inconvenience that everyone always says it is to be at Madison Square Garden and play that arena, just to spite your goofy ass. You think he won't book a date?
You go out of your way to hotshot a date in a state that gives zero fucks about health concerns. The same week, or roughly within the same week, that WWE is running 2 shows in the same metro area. Mind you, the venue that you book, this is AEW, we're talking about AEW Tony Khan, this is only the second professional sporting event ever held in this venue. The first one was also AEW Dynamite. Great show. Great show. High ass tickets. Great show.
I mean, as always, that kind of comes with the territory. Hell, the first time they came here and ran a damn graduation hall, front row seats were going for the 900 and up.
And it was just TV. It wasn't even a pay-per-view. Meanwhile, we got
it was just regular TV.
We got WWE Money in the Bank at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, which can hold about 16,000 people. It's an NCAA Division 1A arena, so tournament games can be held here. Like first round, second round, quarterfinal, semifinal games can be held there if you wanted them to be. The national championship, not so much, but WNBA could even run there if they wanted to. Because it has that many seats. Hell, the Dallas Mavericks...
They'll just come back up 30 for that.
The Mavericks can go fuck around and play over there if they wanted to and still not lose but 1,000 seats. But you gonna do this in a 3,500 seat theater-ish?
It's just the fact that you can say we going to New York. We finna go to New York and we finna throw rocks at the pen.
Here's a news flash. The the major wrestling companies in America, the only one not running consistent shows out of Florida is ROH. Let that sink in for a second.
I mean, look. Here's my question after all that, because I said all that to set up this point. Why is it that for whatever reason, when it comes to professional wrestling, for good, for bad, for indifferent, Tony Khan seems dead set on repeating history? Like that's a real question.
Honestly, honestly, and it's not rhetorical. The only logical answer I could give is nostalgia, because WCW tried it. If I'm not mistaken, TNA ran a New York date or two. Matter of fact, I know for a fact they did, because remember, but that's when Bully Ray and Devon were there.
I totally get it. Like, you do it because it's a top 5 market, it's a top tier market.
It's number one. Number one.
It's number one. I just I like to be modest because we're a top 5 market here, but still
we're number 4.
New York is number 1. That, with it being a top 5 market and being number 1, the media exposure and the exposure to people per capita makes all the sense in the world. However, this is only a 3,500 seat venue, so then there's that. So you'll be able to hit for tickets at a premium. I get it. I get all the math and the logistics. Here's what I'm saying. You throwing rocks at the penitentiary. I like that term, so I'm going to keep using it. Because basically, for the last 3 weeks, you have been in some sort of turmoil or some sort of back and forth with WWE-ish topics and situations. What Nick Khan's doing is none of your business. So if a air quotes dirt sheet report comes out about WWE and New Japan working on a deal, what you should be doing is getting on the phone. You should not be filming videos and shooting slugs. You should be on the phone trying to yank that shit from under them.
Here's one for you.
Relationship.
Here's one for you. MLW, same thing. When the word came out that MLW was working or will be potentially working with WWE on a talent exchange,
you should have been on that.
If Jacob Fatu is not on your radar and you're cutting checks, shame on you. Jacob Fatu is going to end up at SWE Fury this weekend. Are you kidding me? He gonna be down through here, so we gonna see, bruh. Are you kidding me?
I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, attacking Nick Khan, which you cut out. Probably talk about a lot of it before the show is over.
You cut out for just a second, but we got you back.
All right. So I say that to say this. Okay, you're well versed enough and you dig in the crates enough. What was the move that started the slow death of Jim Crockett Promotions?
If I'm not mistaken, the slow death, that was Hogan, right?
No. So the slow death of Jim Crockett.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That started when not re-signing Flair.
Partially, but even before that, when they decided to take Starrcade away from Greensboro, North Carolina, and took it to Chicago.
When
you neglected home to go put on for some motherfuckers who don't fool with you like that.
Chi-Town Heat.
You left. You went, and that's 87. That's the killer. Because right after that, people just start rolling off the roster and ending up in New York. Rolling off the roster, ending up in New York, because you took for granted, you had forsaken your given gift of a fan base. Greensboro, North Carolina was the epicenter of all things JCP. If you took it there, you was gonna sell out. The crowd was gonna be live, and you was gonna get good visuals. True or false?
What we didn't know was a lot of, if not most of, the TV vignettes that were being shot out of Greensboro, while the the wrestling product was actually being recorded in Atlanta. So to do that, let me also add this, since you pinpoint Chicago, you put the Road Warriors, who have been billed for their entire careers, with the exception of their first year as jewelried journeymen.
the enforcers from YMCA roadie crew.
Jewelried, they had titles that were manufactured because they were badasses. Rightfully so. But that's the only time they were billed from Minneapolis, Minnesota. When they went to the NWA, they were billed as being from Chicago, Illinois. When you take JCP and put them in Chicago and announce the Road Warriors from Chicago, knowing no good goddamn well nobody from Chicago has ever seen or heard of these dudes, the Road Warriors, who were perennial baby faces, got booed out the damn arena. You knew it's a problem. You knew it was a problem.
It was, and then you compounded that with more short-sighted mistakes. Like you bought UFW from under Bill Watts, and then you tried to move home base to
UWF. But yes,
UWF.
But so, that wasn't really that. I can't blame Jim Crockett for that move. He did the best thing he could do, considering what the situation was. Why that happened was Bill Watts.
You overpaid for a federation. You moved to a completely different market.
Yes,
and you started hemorrhaging money for trying to stunt.
Yeah, now overpaying.
Yes, you can absolutely blame them for that.
Overpaying, yes.
And then you hemorrhaging money because now you're going back and forth. You got TV in Atlanta. You got live events in North Carolina. Yeah, that's your what's the word I need? That's your radius. That's your circumference of really getting to it. Like, you do a lot of business in the Carolinas. You do a lot of business in Georgia.
Let's call it what it is. That was the territory. They were a national company, but their territory was up and down the I-95 corridor.
Absolutely.
Everything south of New Jersey.
I-95 corridor, and you worked your territory. You were destined to continue to win.
You even had
destined.
You even had WWF overlap in the Virginia area, in the DMV.
You feel me? So all you got to do is stick to your ground, and you'll be fine. Stick to what you do.
Didn't happen.
Do what you do. If you shoot jumpers, that's what you do. Just don't confuse this.
Triple H went on record to call AEW a pissant company, and ever since then, Tony Khan has had a hard-on pause for Triple H. And Triple H has done the right thing in downplaying everything. Although it's the right thing, we don't think it's the most sound thing. But again, using my own school of logic, negative press is the best form of free advertisement. Triple H has shied away from saying anything positive or negative about AEW. He just acknowledges AEW exists, which is one thing Vince McMahon would never do. And that's something that you can't do in business, is don't acknowledge your competition if brought up. Acknowledge them. Roman Reigns. Acknowledge me. You know,
I want the best for all wrestling fans. I don't give a damn about the best for anyone in any sort of office position at any of these companies. I want what's best for people who enjoy watching wrestling. So as much content as we have to choose from now, I'm happy about that. I want the content of that content to be better, but that's a personal thing. Like, AEW has a lot of real estate, and I keep saying this on these last couple of episodes. They have a lot of real estate that they're managing, and their success is absolutely critical to the futures of every other independent promotion operating now.
It's paramount.
Impact, MLW, Ring of Honor, CZW, just whatever, and even SWE Fury. Like, it all matters.
It's even critical to the success of Monday Night Raw, who is experiencing the worst ratings in history. Now, not for nothing, here's some game for some people. don't know if you care or if you know or not, but USA Network now has live showings based on your television provider through the app, through the USA app. If you want to purchase that, you also can do so as well. So you can purchase the independent subscription without having a TV provider, which means you can watch Monday Night Raw in real time on the East Coast and or West Coast feeds, and then also get a replay, which is why we haven't seen them shift over to Peacock for the same week, which for years we haven't been able to get a same week replay of Monday Night Raw that wasn't in Espanol or had commercials taken out and or been truncated for better consumption through Hulu. That's huge. But it doesn't matter now because they're putting up the worst product they've ever put out, according to the viewers.
Right. Yes.
That said,
the viewers and the ratings are not lying about this. Some of us are just literally watching out of a condition to tune in on Mondays, and there's no football.
And that said, if you shit the bed on Wednesdays or Fridays or Saturdays or whatever day you decide to run Dynamite on, those same fans who might be interested in Mondays could give two shits because they know what they're going to get already. Drew versus Bobby. I digress. We got a long hot summer to talk about AEW and WWE, but like this pissing war.
I don't need Khanos shooting himself in the foot. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Because you out here doing that shit. You out here trying to be Omar, but you running around on Marlowe's block.
Bruh, say it again for the people in the cheap seats.
You out here trying to be Omar. Oh, indeed. Omar coming, but you on Marlowe's block. My name is my name.
Man.
Keep on fucking around with VKM and see if that shit don't get back to say. All right, I'm gonna let you learn the whole.
That shit don't turn. That shit don't stand for Voodoo Kin Mafia. While we talking about independence and cool shit, how about this? MLW has pulled and is pulling all of its content off of YouTube. And has opted out of their deal with DAZN. It appears, according to Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, and also via a Court Bauer tweet, that a new deal for content, a new content home, has either been reached or is in negotiations. And I'm sure the pulling of the content off of YouTube has a lot to do with that. Of course, they just signed a TV deal with Vice for their show on Saturday mornings at or Saturday afternoons at noon, which we haven't talked about it before. The historic nature of a 12:00 p.m. Time slot on Saturdays on any network. I digress.
Lost on this.
Was that
generation because most people don't. It's a little lost on this generation because most of us now don't consume real time content. Like, we're not watching at specific times. We'll DVR it and watch it later or stream it from a over-the-top platform.
Yeah, 12 Eastern time on in any given market on a Saturday, or like 12 noon, that is, Eastern time on any given market on a Saturday, was historically either WWF syndicated content or your local promotion. That included Memphis, Mid-South UWF, to a degree, WCW Worldwide or WCW Pro, depending on which market you were in or what station had what. World Class, AWA, Wild West, Southwest Championship Wrestling, Houston Wrestling, Portland Championship Wrestling, all like Championship Wrestling from Florida. Every one, even Mid Atlantic had a local show that wasn't syndicated that was on around that time.
You should have been hitting bells after every one of those because you ain't told a lie yet.
I'm working. I'm chefing here, but let me help myself out. There
you go. What they got, mijo? What they got?
Pow, pow. That said, We already know that the MLW will be having the Battle Riot event in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, which will be the season premiere rather of MLW, and the kickoff for season 4 for MLW Fusion is rumored to take place on 9/11, September the 11th, in Dallas, Texas.
Turn up. Don't get our press passes ready. We finna come.
If this is where I think it's going to be,
through there, see what y'all talking about.
If this is where I think it's going to be, it's not going to be in Dallas. It won't even be in Dallas County.
No.
But if it's about 15 degrees cooler than it was in the same venue 2 years ago, you're in for a freaking show.
Bruh, look. What's the date? What's the date on that
9/11
event?
9/11.
September in Texas. I mean, you have the exact same chance of it being 65 degrees as you do of it being 105.
Flip a coin, bitch.
Yeah, for real. And you could start the day with one of those temperatures and then end the day with the other.
No lies told.
So the only thing I can tell you ahead of time for those of you who are going to be in attendance is hydrate.
Oh, big time.
Relentlessly hydrate.
And we're not talking alcoholic beverages or cold ones, if you
Please do not do any 12s before you go. If it's going to be anything over 85 degrees.
Man,
I'm talking about bottles of agua.
And
charge up your life.
And speaking of charging, on we had on this past Sunday, we had NXT Takeover in your house, and had a hell of a card. Had some hell of a matches. We had Bronson Reed and MSK retain their titles. We had Karrion Kross retain his title. In between, we had some damn good matches. It was a very solid show from top to bottom. I highly encourage you to go back and watch it on Peacock if you didn't. And on Tuesday, Ricky Blaine, shout out Ricky Blaine. This man, I think he went, with the exception of Karrion Kross, I think he went undefeated for the, who ain't gonna win.
Oh, yeah? I mean, I almost went flawless for the week, but yeah, it was too easy to try to pick Cole because I felt like with a multi-man match there, that was the swerve. If you were going to get the belt off Karrion Kross, that was going to be how you did it. But, players fuck up.
Right. That's a fact. On Tuesday, to kick off NXT, we had Karrion Kross with GM Regal, where Kross basically came out and hit him with some old there's no crying in professional wrestling type shit, while William Regal was reminiscing over his last 7 years, who actually pulled out the waterworks for this one. And
he did a masterful job.
Yeah,
that was a promo class.
That's exactly what that was. That was, hey, baby, if you want to learn from the best, if you will, the best is right here. He's running the show for me, if you will. Understand what I'm talking about.
He totally milked that monologue. He got the emotion out of it, and he played it in a way that left everything really ambiguous. So it was like he was about to retire, but he didn't say it. You didn't know what he was going to do, so he did it in a way that left him an out.
Here comes a returning Samoa Joe.
That's almost a body bag, but it wasn't aimed at nobody.
Right. If we were to give a Brandalorian just great mic work, that was it.
Yeah, just great. Yeah.
But you can't give a Brandalorian for just great mic work, because even Roman Reigns 2 weeks ago had the third best promo of his damn career on SmackDown.
Man, talk about it. That man so far in his bag, you might as well close it behind him.
If we did a pre-show for pay-per-views, that whole interview segment with Jimmy Uso would have definitely they would have eaten up a nice chunk of our time dissecting how well Roman. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a SmackDown from Friday, June the 4th, I believe it is. Is my calendar right?
Let me check and verify. That's gonna be.
Was it the 4th or the 11th?
June 4th.
Was it the 4th or the 11th? Oh, it was the 4th.
No, it's the 11th.
It was the 11th. Okay. All right. So yeah, but yeah, that one go masterclass. Like we know like what this business is. This was. Oh, he about to get sunned. Oh, Jimmy about to do this. Oh, it's all Jimmy's fault. Look at Jimmy. Jimmy's a whole hoe. He talking about he ain't nobody's bitch. He a whole hoe for this one. And then the show goes off like, what did we just say? What?
Roman cooked up some reverse psychology stew and served it to everybody. It was beautiful. It had all the seasonings and all the fixings. Like, bruh, I'm very much impressed with the promo work and the content of the promo. Not just the delivery, but the actual content in the proper context.
The instrumental playing right now has the proper title for us talking about Roman Reigns' promo. This instrumental is called Soil Raps.
Well,
Roman was.
Then there's that.
Roman was coming from the soil with his hoorah.
Real salt of the earth.
Oh man, that was probably one of the biggest asshole plays by a nice guy in the history of a heel.
Pause.
At any rate,
I'd have had that pause in there.
Yeah. At any rate, back to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe comes in. William Regal tries to ask Joe to take over for him. Joe says, "Nah, B." You built this brand right here. You did this for 7 years. I can do it, but I'm only doing it beside you. I'm not doing it for you. To which William Regal says,
we don't want a good principal. We want Mr. Clark.
And Joe said, I'm the head Samoan in charge. William Regal says, do not touch anyone unless provoked. Adam Cole became the first victim of a chokehold, courtesy of Samoa Joe. He went straight to sleep. Man, oh boy. NXT is about to, this might be the turn NXT needed, because the one thing I have been saying for months is that NXT doesn't have any true star power. They have some great talent, but they didn't have star power. Joe provides that credibility and that star power, and when provoked, I have a feeling we're going to see him in War Games this year.
What did I keep saying? Bring the heavyweights. I have had just about enough of 205 Live 2.0. I'm good. I appreciate what the smaller guys contribute, but come on, bro. Come on. Everybody can't be 5'8", 160. I'm not watching that.
And Top Dollar AJ Francis, I believe Joe just put him on notice by showing up, because man, he needs somebody in his weight class besides Bronson Reed, besides Killian Dane, besides Karrion Kross. It's
so many people that get cherry picked from NXT that end up doing nothing, and now you have robbed a whole brand of a heavyweight division. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like
insane.
You don't have anybody you don't have any Bobby Roodes, Dolph Ziggler, because I always said he would probably do well being, given some freedom in NXT. Like, there's so many people that we could cherry pick off of both rosters and send them to NXT, which is why I hope, even though I know better, I hope NXT is included in this next draft.
And these are the championship caliber heavyweights that you're talking about. These super heavyweights are just monsters, and they're booked as such. The only ones that weren't was Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and Karrion Kross. But even now, Karrion Kross is getting into that super category because of who he's up against. Hopefully, like you said, come the end of August, that changes. We need that change. That said, we did it last week. We're going to do it this week because we got another show ahead of us. And it goes just like this.
Hey, hey.
You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You say that bitch again. I know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. You know who ain't gonna win. We say that bitch again. One, two, three. Get your tail out. One, two, three. Get the fuck on. One, two, three. Get your tail out. One, two, three. Get the fuck on.
Once again, it is time for another episode of You Know Who Ain't Gonna Win, featuring your boys, Swab Burgundy, Wood, no Bruno. This week's episode, WWE Hell in a Cell. Now wait, I know you're asking yourself, Hell in a Cell is usually in September, October. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Problem is, Corona ho. We're bringing it back. Hopefully they don't do a do-over. But yeah, we have WWE Hell in a Cell this coming Sunday, live on Peacock. Sunday, June the 20th. Yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
I say yeah, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord.
20 and 21.
Amen.
And of course, Hell in a Cell is going to be a short night because the matches are probably going to go a little long in the cell. I can almost guarantee you Roman Reigns' match is going to be about a half hour or more. Most interesting though, but let's run down the card as it sits right now because they're to exclude SmackDown for this coming week. We might get a couple more matches added. So as it sits right now, Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. This goes without saying. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Shayna Baszler.
100% agree. No way. Well, there is a way.
I mean, yeah, there is.
Plan B.
I mean, if it's that time,
there's
if it
always
is that time. However,
Plan B.
However, I've been watching Alexa Bliss and the execution of basically the continuation of The Fiend. Apparently, none of the problems that come from booking that character have anything to do with the people playing it.
So let me ask.
It's not Bray, and apparently it's not Alexa either, because that character is presented the exact same way, whether male or female, regardless of performer, and it falls flat in the same ways every time.
Let me ask you this: do you think that they're mending fences with how bad they treated the Fiend, with how they're going to treat Alexa Bliss going forward?
No, because I just saw proof Monday that they have no idea how to do that.
This man, boy, woo! Raw was rough. Raw was a rough watch this week.
Yeah, like they just don't know. They don't know how to do it.
Keeping it moving for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Your champion Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Ding dong, hello, Bayley.
There is no way you get this close to getting a crowd with one of the biggest talents from women homegrown that we've. Matter of fact, this might be the biggest homegrown talent that we've ever seen, north of or south of Charlotte Flair. And yeah, there's no way we get Bianca losing her strap without a crowd. That's not happening, especially since she won it in front of one. Yeah, boy, For the Raw Women's Championship, your champion Rhea Ripley versus your challenger, 88,000-time champion Charlotte Flair. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Charlotte.
I want to go against you on this one. I want to say that Rhea Ripley doesn't win.
I'm doing this just because I like. If you give Charlotte another title run after you just crowned Rhea Ripley for beating Asuka, it might be the worst move in the history of the woman's evolution. Not because Charlotte is undeserving, because I don't want anybody thinking that I think that way. It's because there's absolutely no reason, no forethought, no prerequisite for you giving Charlotte yet another title reign, another empty title reign at that.
It is exactly that train of thought as to why I think Rhea Ripley loses. Sad.
Facts. And me knowing how some of this, tends to get thought out, because we've learned how to, think in broken pencil logic and then also think in WWE logic. Shout out to the Petty Messiah. I feel like you would have Ripley take an L here so you could get the rematch in front of a crowd at SummerSlam and she go over then.
And not to mention another quote from myself and the Petty Messiah. None of this shit is real. We're living in a snow globe. The snow globe opens up in Texas next month. For your...
They apparently have no better plans once the snow globe is open.
I really hope this match opens up the pay-per-view. I really do. For a reason, a very selfish reason, and you'll know why I'm putting this match up next. I want this match to go on first. For the Universal Championship, Hell in a Cell, your champion, the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, versus Rey Mysterio. Suave, we already know who ain't gonna win. But I want you to tell me who ain't gonna win.
Señor Mysterio.
If anybody was a candidate for being wrecked and left in the middle of the cell, it's Rey Mysterio. Not a knock. Rey deserves all the shine. Not saying that he deserves to be in this Hell in a Cell match. I understand why he's here, because it's a blow off to a feud that shouldn't have started in the first damn place. However, that reason is why this match should go on first, because if you're not first, you're last. And if you're not last, you should go on first. This match should be the main event. Again, very selfish reason. I've never wanted to see this match end the pay-per-view more than I do right now. For the WWE Championship, in a last chance Hell in a Cell match, your champion Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre loses, he can never compete for the WWE Championship again.
While Bobby's champion.
Yes. Suave, who ain't gonna win?
Drew.
Against my better judgment, I agree with you. Drew ain't gonna win. Now, let's see.
Why would Drew win here? Like, why would we do this? Because you realize if Drew wins, you're only going to get another Bobby versus Drew match.
No,
we don't want that at SummerSlam.
Not this time. Not this time. We get I have a sneaky suspicion we get somebody coming out at the end of this match. Or
want Brock versus Bobby. That's it. We will not accept anything less. We want Bobby versus Brock. I don't want no three-way. I don't want no four-way. I don't want no face-off. Give me what I asked for. Bobby versus Brock. That's it. That's all.
Do we get Brock?
No, I don't want fries with that. No, I would not like coleslaw. You can keep your drink upsize fee. I just want what I ordered.
Manager. Let me see your manager.
Let me speak to your superior.
Do you want to see manager?
That's where you get real sideways.
If his name isn't
to your superior.
If his name isn't manager, don't want to see him. No, listen. I'll go so far as to say that Brock Lesnar breaks through the cell, albino gorilla that he is. Shouts out to Petty Messiah yet again. to cause Drew McIntyre to lose this match with an F5. I'll even up the ante and say that Brock Lesnar F5's Bobby Lashley on top of Drew McIntyre for a 1, 2, 3. Now that's some shit.
Wow.
Cut my check if you make this shit happen. Fax machine, be damned. And that's
rough.
And that's who ain't gonna win for Hell in a Cell.
It's rough. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. I mean, I don't have high expectations. So it's going to be really difficult to let me down this particular pay-per-view because I'm like, okay, it's going to matter. It's going to matter the most when you have a crowd. So when Money in the Bank comes around, I expect people to be so geeked up to be outside that it doesn't matter what you put on the screen, they're going to cheer it. By the time we get to SummerSlam and we're back doing weekly television in front of people and the creatives know better, expect a bomb to go off, and please, figuratively, expect a bomb to go off in Las Vegas of booze.
72,000 people. Are you ready for this bullshit?
Get out there in the desert and fuck around if you want to.
Or do you want...
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough on rats and tough on cats.
Or do you want 72,000 people to all chant, "Here come the pain"? The choice is yours. It's all on you. All right, Suave. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Straight like that. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com. That's at brokenpencilbc on everything.
Everything.
And do us a favor, man. Take us to the house.
Oh. Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down.
Happy anniversary to you and Mrs. Burgundy, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
And we got...
No, that's next week.
And we got a tournament for y'all next week.
That's on the 24th.
We got a tournament for y'all next week. Y'all stay tuned for that, too. You know what I'm saying? We doing it only the way that we can. Broken Pencil style. You be...
Worst podcast we've ever done.
Man, technology ain't helping us either. Shit.
Man, like, what is this? Like, fucking FaceTime audio was doing so well, and now we getting fucking drops.
Zoom,
like, you would drop out every so often, but it wasn't bad.
Zoom, fix your shit too, man.